God's chosen ones, remove these 9 habits and hear God's voice, like never before you, the chosen ones of God. Tonight, everything will change. Outside, the night is still. Dim light creeps through the cracks. A bell tolls and echoes through the space. And in this moment, you can feel your heart beating faster. Listen, chosen one. God is calling you. He is opening a door to a kind of guidance you have never experienced before. Let your soul quiet down, for tonight is not an ordinary night. This is the moment when every sign, every signal is pointing toward you. You are about to step into a journey only the chosen can understand, and feel His power filling every breath. You, the chosen one. Right now, as you sit alone in the darkness, stop and listen. Tonight is unlike any night before. Dim light slips through the cracks, the breeze stirs softly, and in this quiet space, there is a presence touching your soul. You feel your heart race, your breathing grow heavy. Could this be the sign God has sent you? As you hear these words, perhaps God has already begun speaking to you, right in this moment, through each heartbeat, through thoughts you have not yet spoken. You are the chosen one, and He is preparing to open a path. Only people like you can walk. Look around. Everything seems normal, but pay attention. The wind, the rustle of leaves, the faint light from the window, all are guiding you into a sacred journey. Deep inside, you know something important is coming, a message that will change how you see your life. Sit quietly for a while. Let your heart perceive it. You stand before an inner test where worry, fear, and old doubts can block you from hearing God. But be comforted, chosen one, for in this still moment, He is whispering beside you. Maybe you have missed many signs before, but tonight is different. A clear, subtle, unmistakable signal has arrived. A bell, a light, a vibration in the heart, all calling you to open up and recognize you have been chosen. And now, as you center your soul and prepare your spirit, get ready. This video will reveal the habits and invisible barriers that are preventing you from hearing God clearly. And more than that, will guide you into a life filled with power, peace, and radiant light. Sit still, take a deep breath, and open your heart to listen. The journey of the chosen one begins at this moment. You will not only recognize the signs, you will feel His power flowing through every heartbeat, every breath, and every decision you are about to make. Part 1, Habit 1, Overthinking, chosen. Listen, right now in this quiet room, the candlelight flickers, each small flame seeming to illuminate your soul. I, a guide of God, want to remind you of an invisible barrier. Many of the chosen carry excessive worry and overcalculation, also called overthinking. Have you ever felt your mind constantly spinning? You stand amid hundreds of choices, thinking through hundreds of possibilities, asking, if I do this, what will happen? Am I wrong? And then those questions stop being ordinary thoughts and become invisible walls that block the whisper of God in your ear. I know. You think you must control everything, that if you don't plan carefully, you will fail or miss something important. But chosen one, let me be clear, you were not called to bear all these burdens alone. From the beginning, God did not choose you to live in a storm of anxiety, but to live in stillness and absolute trust in Him. Imagine Martha and Mary, 2 sisters before the Lord. Martha is busy, worried, distracted by everything, the food, the arrangements, each small detail. She believes her effort and preparation will bring success and make others pleased. Mary, by contrast, sits quietly, puts everything down, and focuses on listening to God. When Martha complained, the Lord looked at her and said, Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her. Chosen one. Let this story sink into your heart. You may be like Martha, locking yourself in a spiral of thoughts, placing pressure on yourself, believing you must control every situation to make life perfect. The truth is, this busyness of worry and overcalculation is blurring your spiritual sight, making it hard to hear God clearly. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your heartbeat, feel each breath. Your thoughts now are like waves on the ocean, but you can learn to sit steady amid those waves. God is not calling you to work like a relentlessly busy person. He calls you to listen, to recognize the rhythms He is making in your life. Silence. That is the moment when you open the door to hear God. When the noise in your mind quiets and your anxieties are set down, you will hear something delicate, a whisper, a prompting, a guidance you never noticed before. The moment you dare to let go of the idea that you must know everything, He will step in and lead you the right way. Imagine you are standing in this room, candlelight flickering, everything around you silent. You realize all the worry, every calculation, every what if they are weights you put on your own shoulders. You are tired. You feel heavy. But right now, God is speaking to you. You are not to carry all this. Trust me, and I will guide you. You might react by thinking more, calculating more. But chosen one, listen to the whisper within. Stop. Be still. Let me lead. This is not an empty promise. It is a truth that all who dare to release a busy mind will discover. Overthinking not only wears you out, it makes you afraid. You imagine that by calculating every possibility, you're preparing for the future. But in reality, you are creating confusion, anxiety, and sometimes missing the opportunities God has already set before you. When you are preoccupied with worry, you cannot hear Him. In the subtle moments, in the small choices, in the signs He sends every day. Look honestly at yourself. Are there decisions you have delayed for fear of making a mistake? Opportunities you passed up because you thought you weren't ready? This is the moment to realize you don't have to carry it all. He is not asking you to do that. He wants you to let go and to trust. And when you begin to let go, when you stop circling in that storm of thoughts, you will notice a miracle. Mental stillness brings clarity. Like Mary sitting quietly beside the Lord, you will hear the most important thing: the best is coming, and you only need to choose to listen. Let the candle burn, let its soft light fill the room. Breathe deeply and feel. Each breath is a reminder that you are not alone. The bell in this quiet room is more than a sound. It is God's invitation. Stop, listen, trust me. Chosen one. When you learn to release overthinking, you open the door to every miracle. All doubts, all worries, all the what-ifs lose their power. Instead, you receive clarity, guidance, and a peaceful heart ready to hear God's whisper. In this quiet moment, you will realize the best does not come from calculating everything, but from choosing to trust, choosing to listen, choosing to be still, and to let Him lead. Tonight, candlelight flickers, the room is silent. You are no longer the anxious Martha. You are Mary, the chosen one, sitting quietly with the Lord, choosing the better part. And He is preparing to open for you a journey you have never walked, a life full of power, peace, and clarity you have never felt before. Part 2. Habit 2. Surrounding yourself with negative people. Chosen one. Listen, you may not have noticed, but the people around you, the words and thoughts you receive every day, are deeply affecting your soul. Every negative story, every complaint, every doubtful look, these are seeds that can be planted in your heart and dim the whisper of God. Do you sometimes feel the energy of those around you weigh you down, make you tired, or even cause you to doubt yourself? Chosen one, this is no coincidence. God is reminding you that the spiritual environment you choose is critically important. A negative atmosphere not only exhausts you, it disconnects you from divine guidance and makes God's voice grow faint amid the noise of the world. Look closely at who surrounds you. Are there people who constantly complain doubt or spread fear? Are there conversations that make your chest tighten and leave your spirit heavy? Those are signs that you are being influenced by negative energy, and God is calling you to recognize it. Remember the story of Lot's wife in the Bible. When Sodom was destroyed, God delivered Lot and his family, but she looked back at the sinful city and could not let go of its influence. As a result, she became a pillar of salt, a stark reminder that being unable to separate yourself from negative influence can cost you God's protection and guidance. Chosen one. Imagine how you feel when surrounded by harsh words, attitudes, and negative behavior. A suffocating weight fills your every breath, your heart grows heavy, and your mind clouds, making it hard to notice the subtle signs God sends you. But this is the moment to realize you have the right to choose your environment. You have the right to protect your soul, and God gives you the power to do so. Picture yourself standing among people who always complain, criticize, or spread fear. Each word, each look, each attitude is like a cold wind blowing into your heart. In that moment, God whispers to you, you can choose to step out of that storm. You are not required to carry their influence. This choice is not easy. You may fear isolation, abandonment, or losing relationships. But chosen one, let me be clear. Protecting your soul matters more than any acceptance from others. When you dare to distance yourself from negative energy, you will feel relief, a peace you have never known before. Remember, God is not calling you to cut off every relationship. He calls you to recognize people or situations whose negative energy blurs your spiritual clarity. When you separate yourself not from hate or judgment, but to choose peace and stillness to hear Him, you protect the path God set for you. Imagine again you stand before a door leading to a quiet, peaceful space. Behind the door are complaints, fear, envy, and negativity. You can walk into that noise, or you can close the door and step into silence where God waits to speak to you. This decision is the first step to reclaiming your power. The moment you create distance, you will sense change. A lightness flows through your mind and heart, as if heavy stones have fallen away. God's whisper becomes clear. You will hear subtle guidance, gentle promptings, and a pervasive sense of safety in your soul. Chosen one. Realize negative environments can tire you, frighten you, and make you doubt yourself, but God has given you the ability to choose. The authority to decide who and what influences your soul is a power no one can take away. When you stand firm in that choice, clarity, peace, and spiritual strength are not luxuries, they are your rightful inheritance. Think again of Lot's wife. She was pulled back by what was familiar, by things that tied her to the past and to her surroundings. Chosen one, you are being offered a different chance. You do not have to look back at the negativity that once surrounded you. You may step forward toward the light and God's guidance where negative forces lose their power. In this quiet moment, you feel your heartbeat steady. You recognize that silence and stillness are the sacred spaces where God's voice becomes clear. No more noise from others, no more judgment or doubt, only you and His presence. You begin to understand that creating distance from negative energy is not isolating yourself from the world, but protecting the path God ordained for you. When you step out of the whirlpool of negativity, you open space for guidance, for signs, and for the whispers you once missed. Take a deep breath. Chosen one, feel the difference. Your mind is lighter, your heart calmer, and you know this decision is more than a choice. It is the first step toward becoming the powerful version of yourself God created. And now, in the silence of your own soul, you can hear the subtlest thing, a reminder, a direction, an affirmation that you are on the right path. You are no longer pulled into the vortex of negative energy. You have chosen peace, you have chosen guidance, you have chosen Him. Chosen one. Remember that every step away from a toxic environment brings you closer to spiritual clarity. to the ability to hear God clearly, and to the power you were given when you were chosen. Let this moment be etched in your heart as proof that you control the energy around you and that God's guidance is always present when you are ready to listen. Part 3. Habit 3. Clinging to the past. Chosen one, listen to His voice. In the silence of your soul, there is something God wants to show you. The past was never meant to imprison you. But tell me, have you ever wondered why your heart still feels heavy at times? Why old failures, regrets, and mistakes keep replaying in your mind even when you thought you had let them go? You are carrying a heavy backpack filled with painful memories, unresolved failures, unforgiven words, and unhealed wounds. Each step forward seems pulled back by what has already happened. You try to move ahead, but your eyes still glance behind, chained to yesterday. Let me remind you of Israel in the wilderness. God had just delivered them from Egypt, from slavery and suffering. Freedom was before them, the promised land lay ahead, but their hearts longed for the old days. If only we had died in Egypt. They sighed, craving the familiar chains of their past instead of stepping into God's new future. Chosen one, do you see the parallel? You too may be standing at the edge of freedom and new potential, yet still turning back to broken relationships, old mistakes, and wounds you never resolved. You whisper, if only I hadn't failed, if only things had gone differently. But God is whispering to you now. Do not look back, the past is gone. Step into the today I have prepared for you. Take a deep breath. Feel the heaviness in your heart that is the past weighing you down, clouding the guidance God wants to give. But here is the truth, the past has no power unless you keep carrying it. The past is a lesson, not your destiny. And God is calling you to step into your destiny, a journey prepared long before overflowing with light and hope. Think about your failures. Each time you replay them, each time you condemn yourself, the weight grows heavier. But if you dare to let go, to forgive yourself and others, you will unlock a spiritual strength you have never known. Forgiveness does not only lighten your heart, it opens your ears to hear God more clearly and your eyes to see the opportunities He already set in place. Let the memories fade behind you. Every failure, every wound, every regret, put them down. God stands beside you saying, you are not a prisoner of your past. You are my chosen one, and your future is in my hands. Look at this present moment. The breeze passes, light seeps through the window. It may seem ordinary, but He is guiding you. In the silence, you hear His whisper, step forward, let go, trust me. Chosen one. I know this is not easy. Letting go of the past is not a single act, but a process of noticing what you've been clutching in your heart. Yet each time you forgive, each time you release a wound, you open the door wider for God's presence, His power and His guidance to flood into your life. Picture Israel again in the desert. They were freed yet haunted by Egypt. If they had kept looking back, they would never have reached the promised land. And so it is with you. If you refuse to release the past, you cannot enter the future God designed for you. But the moment you let go, you will taste peace, freedom, and spiritual strength like never before. Let the light fill the room. Breathe deeply and feel it. Every regret, every wound, every failure, you set them down. Your soul grows lighter and you begin to step into a new day, one where your choices are led by God's voice, not blurred by yesterday's shadows. And in this stillness, you realize forgiveness is not just for others, it is for you. Forgiveness frees you, expands your soul, and sharpens your ability to hear His whisper. You begin to notice signs, opportunities, and guidance that you once overlooked. Chosen one, tonight in the soft glow of this room, make a vow. I will no longer be bound by the past. I will step into today, open to God's voice, and walk in the power He has given me. And when you do, you will feel change, a lightness, a peace, a clarity shaping every decision. You are no longer one who looks behind. You are stepping forward where the light leads, where his whisper guides, where every old wound is healed. Chosen one, feel this power and know that your step today opens the future that only the chosen can experience. Take another deep breath. Feel your heartbeat and realize the past cannot define you unless you let it. He is standing beside you, lifting you, reminding you that you were chosen. Every scar, every failure, every regret can become a lesson, and you can now walk freely, ready for all he has prepared. Part 4, Habit 4, Ignoring Rest and Silence. Chosen one, listen to his whisper. In the world around you, the noise never stops, the ringing of phones, the pile of unread emails, the endless calls, the unfinished tasks. You run, you hurry, you stay busy. And in the midst of it all, you forget one essential truth. God created rest not as a sign of weakness, but as a doorway to connection, peace for your soul, and a way to hear his voice more clearly. Picture your day. Morning comes and you race against the clock. Noon arrives and you're still chasing tasks. Evening falls and your mind is heavy with worries. When do you ever truly pause? When do you give time to yourself and to God? Chosen one, this is the moment he wants you to realize. Busyness is not proof of faith or success. True strength comes through stillness. Rest and silence, the very keys to unlocking divine guidance. Remember when God himself rested on the seventh day? He did not rest because he was tired, nor because he lacked time, but as an example so we would understand that stillness and rest are part of the sacred design of life. If even the creator of the universe set aside time to rest, how much more must you, his chosen one, establish balance so your soul is not drowned out by noise? Chosen one, take a deep breath, feel your heartbeat. When you never rest, when you are always rushing, your mind becomes a storm, every thought a violent gust of wind, making God's whisper fade beneath the chaos. You may be searching for signs, begging for guidance, but in the storm of your own busyness, you will not hear him. Now imagine a quiet room, the gentle glow of candlelight, the soft whisper of wind outside the window. Silence fills the air, only you and his presence remain. In that stillness, God whispers, stop, rest, hear me. Rest is not simply sitting still. It is laying down your burdens, releasing the responsibilities you think you must carry, and opening your heart to receive his direction. When you take time to listen, when your mind grows quiet, you discover something profound. Worries dissolve, confusion fades, and his voice becomes clear, delicate, yet powerful. Picture a day when you are no longer rushing. You wake without being enslaved to a schedule. You give yourself a few minutes of silence, a few moments to breathe and feel your heartbeat. You hear the wind, the rustling leaves, and deep within a whisper, you are chosen. You are on the right path. Chosen one. Too often we forget that silence itself is a form of prayer. When you allow yourself to sit quietly, doing nothing but listening, you are directly connecting with God. Each moment of rest is a chance for your soul to be restored, for you to notice subtle guidance and to hear his voice in your decisions. You may say, but I have too much to do. I cannot stop. Chosen one, hear this truth. Busyness is not a sign of strong faith. True faith is knowing when to stop, when to listen, when to let him lead. You cannot receive divine direction if your mind is always distracted. Let me remind you, silence opens a sacred doorway. In those quiet moments, you will hear him more clearly than ever before, a gentle reminder, a guiding nudge, a sense of what is to come. All of it will unfold when you are brave enough to sit still, to breathe, and to simply listen. Look at yourself. Each time you ignore rest, you miss a chance to hear his voice. Each time you refuse to pause, you allow the noise of the world to drown out the sacred whisper. But chosen one, when you learn stillness, when you choose rest, you create a holy space for him to dwell, a space where your mind clears, your soul finds peace, and his guidance shines brighter than ever. Let the candlelight warm your eyes. Feel the quiet soaking through your body. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and listen. Listen to God's whisper in every heartbeat, in every breath. He is saying, you do not have to do everything alone. Stop, rest, I will lead you. Chosen one. Tonight in this silence, you can grasp a deeper truth. Rest is not laziness. Silence is not neglect of duty. They are power. They are ways to connect directly with him and walk the path he has already prepared. Picture yourself stepping out of the storm of daily noise. Slowly, the world's chaos fades. Peace settles into your soul. In this stillness, your choices grow clearer, your direction sharper. You realize silence is your greatest teacher, and rest is the key that opens divine guidance. Chosen one, promise yourself that you will make time for silence. Even a few minutes a day is enough to awaken your inner strength, to hear God's voice, and to walk with the clarity and peace you were meant to carry. Every deep breath, every quiet pause is a reminder you are chosen, you are guided, and he is walking with you. And when you learn to be still, to rest, and to listen, you will see a powerful truth. Every noise, every pressure, every stress loses its grip on your soul. God's whisper becomes the gentle melody leading you, opening doors, revealing signs, and bringing miracles you have never felt before. Take a deep breath, chosen one, and realize silence is the place you meet him, the place your soul is restored, and the place his voice rings clearest. This is the next step on the journey of the chosen, where his power, his peace, and his guidance shine brighter than ever. Part 5, Habit 5, Relying Too Much on Human Opinions. Chosen one, listen closely. On your journey, have you ever felt yourself swayed by advice, opinions, or judgments from others? You look around and hear people offering counsel, warnings, or criticism, and sometimes you feel the pressure to agree, to follow, to please everyone. But chosen one, this is the moment you must awaken. God's voice is greater than them all. You may be telling yourself, but their advice makes sense. Maybe I should follow it. Stop. Chosen one, remember, this human eyes can only see so far. Human hands can only reach so much. And human words can never comprehend the full plan God has prepared for you. When you lean too heavily on the opinions of others, you give them the authority to guide your steps, and the sacred, powerful voice of God grows faint. Recall the story of David facing Goliath. Everyone around him, King Saul, the warriors, the crowd, said David was too small, too inexperienced, too unequipped to fight. They gave advice. They tried to impose their methods. They believed victory could only come their way. But David, look at David, chosen one. He did not follow human reasoning. He listened to God. David chose faith over the crowd, and with only a sling and a stone, he defeated Goliath, proving that God's guidance is greater than human opinion. Chosen one, do you see yourself here? How many times have you stood at a crossroads, overwhelmed by conflicting voices, unable to discern the right path? You must realize not everyone can see the road God has prepared for you. Human opinions may sound wise, but they are not divine guidance. If you rely too much on them, you risk missing the still, precise voice of God. Picture this: you stand at a fork in the road, surrounded by a crowd pulling at you with different opinions, each shouting a different direction. And in the middle of it all, God whispers, "Listen to me. Follow my way. Do not let the noise drown out my voice." Awakening begins when you recognize that God's voice is not always loud, not always obvious like human words. His voice is gentle, subtle, yet filled with power. When you dare to trust Him above all else, decisions become easier, paths become clearer, and you step forward with confidence you never knew before. Feel this moment. When you let go of the need to please others, when you silence the judgments and expectations, you will hear God's whisper, confirming the unique path He has carved for you. It is spiritual confirmation that you are on the right road, and no one can take that guidance from you. Chosen one. Think of the times you hesitated, delayed, or felt lost because you listened too much to others. Each time your heart grew heavy, your spirit weary, your faith shaken. But hear His whisper now. You don't need their approval. You need my voice. You will succeed when you walk in my guidance. The difference is immediate. When you lean on Him, your mind finds peace. Doubts fade. The pressure to please everyone disappears. The inner conflict is gone. You walk with clarity, confidence, and strength. Look again at David. No one believed in him, but he trusted God, and victory was his. Chosen one, you too are being offered this same opportunity. When you dare to set aside the voices of the crowd, you will uncover divine direction. You will see signs, doors, and opportunities that were hidden beneath the noise. In this moment of stillness, take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can. Feel the awakening within. You recognize that the past human opinions and social pressure cannot shape your destiny unless you allow them. God's clarity, power, and guidance are already present, waiting for you to listen and follow. Chosen one, make this commitment now. Stop seeking validation from others. Trust the inner confirmation, the whisper of God within your heart. With every step, every decision, His direction will shine brighter, and you will walk in the true power of trusting Him. And as you do, you will discover something profound. You are never alone, you are never lost, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your faith, to grow, and to experience the power He has already placed within you. Take a deep breath, chosen one, and hear it. God's voice is echoing within your heart, affirming that your path is unique, that you are chosen, and that no human opinion can replace His divine guidance. This is your awakening to believe, to trust, and to step into the path only you and God know, the path of victory, peace, and true power. Part 6. Habit 6. Neglecting prayer and spiritual discipline. Chosen one. Listen to His whisper right now. In the rush of daily life, have you noticed how easy it is to forget prayer, to skip those moments of connection with God, to let go of spiritual discipline, the very lifeline of your soul? You may think life is too busy, or that God already knows your heart without your daily prayer. But, chosen one, He wants you to awaken neglecting prayer. And spiritual discipline is a subtle habit that muffles His voice in your life. Picture your day. You wake up rushing into work. At noon, you're still weighed down by tasks. And at night, you collapse with exhaustion, offering no time to pray or reflect. Days pass, and suddenly you feel a quiet distance within an emptiness you hadn't noticed before. That emptiness is His gentle reminder, you have forgotten me. You've let the world drown me out. Chosen one, remember Daniel in Babylon, surrounded by a foreign culture, tempted by influences opposed to his faith. Daniel never abandoned his discipline. 3 times a day he prayed. He did not allow busyness or danger to sever his connection with God. And because of this steadfast practice, Daniel received divine guidance, wisdom for decisions, and even protection in the lion's den, proof of the power of spiritual discipline. Feel the truth in this. When you are faithful in prayer, when you keep your daily rhythm, the whisper of God becomes unmistakable. You are no longer lost or confused. Consistent prayer and discipline become your compass, guiding you with clarity through life's decisions. Maybe you feel guilty, weary, or doubtful as you realize you've neglected this habit. Do not fear. This is not judgment, but God's loving reminder. You can start again. You can reconnect. I have never left your side. Imagine the quiet room, candlelight flickers, only you and the Lord are present. Whether you speak words aloud or sit silently in His presence, every thought, every breath becomes a prayer. Each moment spent this way strengthens your soul, steadies your spirit, and makes you more sensitive to His subtle direction. Chosen one. Many see prayer as a ritual or only call upon it in crisis. But for you, the chosen prayer must be the heartbeat of your soul, the key that opens clarity, peace, and power. Each time you neglect it, the noise of the world grows louder, and His whisper grows fainter, leaving your choices clouded. Take a deep breath and listen. God's voice does not always come in long hours of prayer. Sometimes it comes in a few quiet minutes when you are still. Even short, steady discipline awakens power. With consistency, every decision, every opportunity, every sign becomes clearer. There is nothing in this world that can replace direct connection with Him. Look within. Are there decisions you've delayed because you lacked spiritual clarity? Burdens you've carried because you ignored His whisper? This can change. When you return to prayer and discipline, you open space for God to move in your life, guiding your steps, lifting your burdens, filling you with peace you thought you lost. And remember, discipline does not mean long, complicated rituals. It is simply choosing daily moments to look inward, breathe deeply, and open your heart. God is not asking for perfection. He asks for persistence, sincerity, and readiness. Return to Daniel once more. Even when danger loomed and culture opposed him, Daniel kept his discipline. 3 times a day he knelt, looked toward heaven, and prayed. That rhythm anchored his life, brought clarity, and drew God's protection. This is the power of spiritual discipline. Chosen one, you can do the same. No matter how busy life feels, no matter how loud the world grows, you can pause, breathe, and return to Him. Each moment you choose connection. His presence fills your heart, guiding you through trials, choices, and opportunities. Let the candlelight glow in your mind. Feel peace spreading in your chest. Breathe in deeply and realize every prayer, every quiet pause is a step closer to the clarity, peace, and power God gave you the moment you were chosen. Chosen one. Tonight, make a vow: I will not neglect prayer. I will not abandon spiritual discipline. I will set aside time to listen, to connect, to persevere. From now on, every step, every decision will be guided by His divine whisper. Take one more deep breath and feel it. His power, His clarity, His guidance are present right now. You have been chosen. You are being led. And from this moment, you will walk with a peace and clarity that only the chosen can experience. Part 7. Habit 7. Holding on to unforgiveness. Chosen one. Listen to His whisper. Inside you, there may be a burden you've carried for far too long. Bitterness, resentment, unhealed wounds, all piled up like heavy stones, wearing down your soul, breaking your heart, and most of all, dulling your ability to clearly hear God's voice. Have you felt at times that you simply cannot forgive the one who hurt you? You think holding on to the pain, holding on to the grudge, will make you stronger, will shield you from being hurt again. But chosen one, let me tell you plainly, unforgiveness does not protect you. It chains you. It clouds your spiritual vision, keeping you from noticing divine guidance, missing opportunities, and losing the peace God has prepared for you. Picture this: you hold a burning stone in your hand. You believe it makes you strong, but all it does is scorch your skin, cause pain, and weigh you down. Resentment is the same. When you hold on to it, you are not hurting others, you are hurting yourself. Remember the story of Joseph. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, abandoned and forgotten, Joseph had every reason to live in bitterness. but he did not let hatred rule his heart. When the moment came, Joseph forgave not because they deserved it, but because his heart needed to be free. And in forgiveness, he discovered real power, clarity, peace, and the ability to step fully into the divine mission of saving lives and protecting his people. Chosen one. Do you see yourself here? How many times have you held on to hurt, anger, betrayal, or harsh words? How many times has your heart felt heavy because you could not let go? This is the moment to realize forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is power. It is the first step to freeing your soul, to hearing God more clearly, and to walking the path He has already prepared. Take a deep breath. Feel it in your chest. In this very moment, God is whispering, let go, forgive. Do not let bitterness chain you. Every time you choose forgiveness, you remove a shackle from your soul. Peace enters, a gentle lightness flows through your heart, and the storm of thoughts begins to settle. Chosen one. When you forgive, you are not just releasing others from what they owe you. You are releasing yourself. You are making room for God's light to shine, for His guidance to become clear, and for each step ahead to glow brighter than ever before. Think of unforgiveness as a heavy curtain blocking the light. While you cling to resentment, the world looks dim. Opportunities seem hidden and His signs are harder to see. But the moment you forgive, the curtain lifts. God's light floods your soul, illuminating your choices, your path, and your purpose. Look at yourself honestly. How long have you allowed anger, bitterness, or grudges to control your emotions? How many times have you felt weary, burdened, trapped by negativity? Chosen one, all of that can change in the instant you choose forgiveness. Your mind grows clearer, your heart lighter, and His whisper louder than ever. Remember Joseph once more. In forgiving, he not only freed himself from bitterness, but saved those around him, preserving an entire nation. Chosen one, you too can do the same. Forgiveness opens a door to power, to spiritual clarity, to a future unchained by the past. Now pause and sense this moment. Soft light enters the quiet room. The breeze stirs your soul, feels at peace. Forgiveness is not just an act, it is a spiritual posture. When you forgive, you step into a sacred space where God Himself leads you through every trial, every decision, every opportunity. Chosen one, make this promise to yourself now: I will forgive. Even the smallest hurts, even the wounds not yet forgotten. Each act of forgiveness expands your soul, strengthens your spirit, and awakens the divine power planted within you since the day you were chosen. And in this stillness, you will realize forgiveness is the bridge between your soul and God's guiding power. No more bitterness, no more anger, no more old wounds, only peace, clarity, and His whisper leading you step by step. Breathe deeply, chosen one, and feel it. God's voice is echoing in your heart, confirming that in forgiveness, you step into His power. You are no longer bound by resentment. You are walking in the peace, the clarity, and the strength that only the chosen can experience. Part 8. Habit 8. Living in fear instead of faith. Chosen one, pause and listen. Right now, deep in your heart, there may be a quiet fear weaving its way through your thoughts and your breath. Fear doesn't always arrive as something obvious. Sometimes it shows up as hesitation, as self-doubt, as the heavy weight pressing on you when faced with an important decision. But chosen one, you must recognize this fear is your most subtle enemy, the one blocking you from hearing God's voice and walking the path He has already set before you. Think of the story of the 12 spies of Israel. When they went to scout the promised land, 10 returned, trembling, their words full of fear. The people are too strong, the walls too high. We cannot win. Fear blinded them and caused them to miss the very opportunity God had opened. But 2, Joshua and Caleb, saw with faith. They believed God would lead them, and they were ready to move forward despite danger, despite opposition. Chosen one, do you see yourself here? How many times have you stood before opportunity or challenge only to let fear hold you back, to delay your step, or to forfeit what God prepared for you? How many times have you told yourself, I'm not capable, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the strength? Hear this truth. Fear is an illusion, but faith is power. Breathe deeply, chosen one, and feel it. When you choose faith over fear, you step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of God's leading. Every step in faith is an act of courage, believing that even without seeing the whole way, you are guided. Trusting that even with risk ahead, you are never alone. Your heart may pound, your knees may tremble, but recognize this fear is simply the stage where your faith is tested. And in that moment, God whispers, step forward. Do not let fear stop you. Your faith is your power. Picture yourself facing a crucial decision. Logic tells you it's impossible. Voices around you shout their doubts. Evidence stacks against you. And then, in that silence, you hear him, trust me. Walk forward. I am leading you, chosen one. In that instant, strength rises inside you when you choose faith instead of fear. Look into your heart. How many opportunities have you missed because of fear? How many times have you chained yourself in self-doubt, bound by anxiety? But now is the moment to change. Now is the call to step into faith, to walk in power, to trust that God is opening a way unseen. Remember Joshua and Caleb. They walked by faith, not fear, and they were rewarded with the chance to see the promised land, to enter where the fearful could not. Chosen one, you too can live this truth. When you place faith above fear, clarity comes, doors open, and peace floods your soul. Let the light fill the quiet room where you stand. Breathe in deeply and realize the difference. Fear may appear, but faith is always your choice. Every step in faith releases your inner power, sharpens your awareness of God's signs, and brings you closer to the mission He prepared for you. Chosen one. Trembling is not weakness. It is the moment you discover that true strength comes from faith. When you step forward in trust, power rises, gentle but strong, peaceful, yet full of energy, and suddenly fear loses its grip. See fear for what it is, an invisible wall. You may see it, feel it, but you do not need to let it block your way. When you choose faith, you walk right through it. On the other side, His guidance shines. Every step ahead glows, and His whisper becomes clearer than ever. Chosen one, tonight make this vow: I will not let fear rule me. I will walk by faith, trust His guidance, and open my heart to the power He has already placed within me. From now on, every step and every decision will be clear, strong, and spirit-led. Breathe in once more, chosen one, and feel it. You stand before a door of power. Beyond it lies peace, clarity, and every opportunity you were meant to receive. When you choose faith instead of fear, you step into the light, onto the path only the chosen can experience, the path of power, peace, and divine guidance. Part 9. Habit 9. Chasing the world instead of the Spirit. Chosen one, listen to His whisper. In the world around you, there are countless temptations: wealth, power, fame, status, and material achievements that people claim are most important. You see others running after them and ask yourself, should I do the same? Should I chase these things to succeed and be recognized? But chosen one, this is the moment to awaken. Pursuing the world will never truly satisfy your soul. Look closely within yourself. Have you ever poured your time, energy, and mind into chasing what's outside, only to realize your heart was still empty? Worldly victories are temporary. When you place them above the Spirit, you cannot hear God's whisper. You miss His guidance, His power, and His peace that have been waiting for you all along. Remember the story of the rich young ruler in Matthew 19. He obeyed the commandments, he had great possessions, But when Jesus called him to place God first, he walked away sorrowful, not because he lost wealth, but because he could not release what blinded his soul. He had riches on earth, but emptiness inside. Chosen one, let his story remind you wealth, status, and power are not the final destination. The true destination is God's presence in your life. Picture this: you run after success, a position, a title, a fortune. Every step feels heavier, your heart tightens, and God's voice grows faint. Even when you achieve it all, your soul feels empty. You ask, is this really what I needed? The answer is no, if you have not put God first. Feel the truth in this moment. When you place him above all, the chase after worldly things loses its grip. Money, power, and recognition may still exist, but they no longer control your heart. Instead, peace fills you, clarity shines, and you walk in a power you've never known before. You may say, but I need success and money to live, to provide for my family. And God whispers, put me first, and I will provide. When your heart prioritizes me, all that you need will arrive in the right way and at the right time. Remember, this chasing the world is not the same as walking in your destiny. When you let the Spirit lead, a new path opens. It is a path not only of true success, but also of joy, peace, and fulfillment. Things the world can never buy. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. One road leads to worldly ambition, the other to God's guidance. Choose the world, and you may gain achievements, but remain empty. Choose God, and you will receive clarity, protection, and the power to turn spiritual priorities into lasting, meaningful success. Chosen one, can you feel the difference even now? When you place him first, your heart grows lighter, your mind clearer, and your choices easier. You realize success is not defined by wealth or fame, but by walking in his guidance and his power. Let his light shine into your soul. Breathe deeply and recognize you are no longer driven by temporary desires. You walk with confidence, knowing that every decision, every opportunity, every challenge is guided by him. Peace arises, and you see that true success comes only when God is your first priority. Chosen one, make this commitment now. I will not let worldly values blind my soul. I will put God first. I will follow his guidance. I will open my heart to the peace, the power, and the true success he has prepared for me. Breathe deeply once more. Feel the weight lifting. You step out of the whirl of worldly pursuit and into the light of his direction. You realize that when your soul prioritizes God, everything else falls into place. This is the path of power, the path of peace, the path of true success, the path of the chosen. Pause now, chosen one. Breathe deeply and notice your surroundings. Gentle golden light fills the room. Silence wraps around you. Each breath flows with your heartbeat. This is the sacred space where you connect directly with God, where burdens fall, fears fade, and peace covers you. Close your eyes and hear his whisper, "You are my chosen. You are not forgotten. Everything you need I see and provide." Let these words soak into every part of your soul, washing away heaviness and bringing the comfort you longed for. In this quiet moment, open your heart fully. Place every worry, every failure, every regret, every fear before him. Each time you surrender, you are not just freeing yourself, you are creating room for his guidance, his clarity, and his power to fill you. Chosen one, remember you are never alone. He is always with you in your heartbeat, in your breath, in your thoughts. Every step you take, every decision you make is lit by his presence. Trust this truth. And now let us pray together. Heavenly Father, we come before you, humbly knowing that without you we cannot see clearly, we cannot walk straight, and we cannot hear your whisper. We confess that too often we let the noise, the fears, and the pull of the world drown out your guidance. Today, Father, we lay everything down before you. We release overthinking, we release negative influences, We release the past and we choose to rest in your presence. We forgive, we walk in faith instead of fear, and we place the Spirit above the world's temptations. Lord, grant us clarity, peace, power, and faith to walk boldly on the path you have already prepared. Remind us always that we are chosen, not abandoned, and that every step is guided by you. We thank you, we trust you, and we open our hearts to receive your leading in every season of life. Amen. Chosen one, feel this moment deeply. Comfort is filling your soul, peace is running through your veins, and connection with God is clearer than ever. Hold this truth: you are not forgotten, you are chosen. And now, if you felt His power and peace in this moment, type Amen in the comments, subscribe for more messages, and share this with another chosen one. Let His light, His guidance, and His power flow not only in your life, but also in the lives of those around you. Chosen one, you have faced these 9 habits and broken their hold. Continue following His whisper and recognize that your life, every moment of it, was designed to overflow with His power, His peace, and His presence.